Okay. Yeah. Hi, everyone. A very good morning for people in United States and very good evening to people back in Asia, Middle East, and India. Right. I think we have got a good response for this webinar, and this webinar is about the journey of our student. We've got Atul Prabhu with us. He's our ex-student alumni from Techmentry, and there is his mother also, who's been a strong support, strong pillar for him throughout this journey, Miss Deepa Prabhu. And along with Atul and his mother, there is Jude sir. Jude sir, we introduced you last time also. So he's there with us. He's the chief educator and founder of Techmentry. His journey goes long back. I think 25 years of journey into teaching field. He started with Nibble learning. He started with just two students, and that grew to around 1,000 students per year. He taught. First started with the engineering students, then working professionals, then he has gone back to the school kids, right? He also has Vivid Technologies IT company, which does very well in India, United States, and overseas. He also happens to be a Harvard Business School alumni, right? So welcome, Jude sir, to our webinar. If you want to say a few words to our participants.
Thank you, Anand. As he said that I'm a very passionate educator than CEO of a technology company because I love teaching. Okay, so it is. I started teaching in 2001. Anand is my first batch students, right? He was Anand. It was the first batch. I taught him as a. I think we started in a small room. We started teaching the 4 5 students, and then became 300, 500, 600. So year on year, I was teaching approximately every year 1,800 to 2,000 students per year. I was teaching till 2018. I was doing that work. So I wanted to do some studies, so I went to Harvard to study. And during COVID, I think one of my first batch student, her name is Devika, who introduced, who told me I was in the US stuck there. So that time she told one of my friend's son wants to learn um, coding. So I said that first I was very reluctant to teach to a child because I was teaching only engineering students in the past. I was very reluctant. I said no, kids can't understand all this. But when after teaching Atul was my first student. So when I taught him, I realized that kids have a much more potential than what I had thought about it. Okay, so that gave me a lot of conviction to teach the kids, and from that moment we started this Techmentry to teach kids. So the kids, and it's amazing to teach kids. Actually, it's very fun teaching them the way they think. And today I saw him as a fifth grade student when I start teaching, right, Atul, if I'm not mistaken, fifth grade he
Yeah,
would.
yeah.
So then it's we turned as he was passing through. It was an amazing journey. It was what I saw was he started learning in, I think, seventh grade. He started learning data structures. Correct, seventh grade.
Yeah, yeah. That's it.
Then he did excellent in data structures. Then he went to do AI machine learning, right? I think Satak taught you machine learning. Correct. Yeah. So if you look at this, and I could never imagine an eighth grade and ninth grade child is doing machine learning, AI, cyber security. It's an amazing, and he is very a dedicated child, which I saw. Okay, that is one of the reason when Anand asked me, "Can you pick up one child who taught to talk?" I said that talk to Atul Prabhu. Okay, now I would be happy. This is the reason Atul Prabhu was introduced in this session to have a conversation with us. Yeah, yeah, that's.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jude sir, for highlighting your journey. And then talking about Atul. Atul, we would like to hear from you also, right? You and then, of course, your mother. What really inspired you to get into the field of coding, and how was your journey so far? You can just throw some light on that.
Yeah, yeah. So back in around 2020, when like all the COVID stuff just started and we were inside the house, I feel like technology was already just all around us already. Like we were already on Zoom. We were already like there's all like coding phase that was happening around the world. And I think like it was just so like out there that I was like, hey, maybe I should like actually try to dabble in it. Maybe I should actually try just get to know it, right? Because like that at that time technology was so widespread that you couldn't like avoid it. So coding was just one thing that I was able to do during quarantine. And I was like, hey, maybe I should actually master this. Maybe I should actually go forward with the technology and stuff. And as like as more the more that I learned it, the more I was like so interested because you could create so much stuff with coding and like yeah, you could just do so much with it. And that's where my passion started back in 2020.
I think that
Okay.
he did even Arduino because of him only we introduced Arduino in our curriculum. Okay, we thought
Yeah,
okay
yeah,
let child and explore the hardware side. Okay, so people, a lot of people were skeptical about it. How a child will play around with electronics, kids and all. So and then we gave them Arduino, and then he did Raspberry Pi. Correct, if I'm not mistaken, right?
He
yeah,
did
yeah.
Raspberry
It
With
did
Pi.
that.
Raspberry Pi also, and he's a excellent programmer. I think he should be given some internship to. I think you should get some internship for him to work. Correct, in that space. I think he will do an extremely good job. I think we should try to. I think I don't know. Is allowed to work for the children less than 12,
He is.
18.
He is.
Is
He
allowed?
is.
Yeah,
That's why he got a job.
yeah.
He
Oh,
is, yeah.
very good. Very
16 and
nice.
above. He can work, yeah.
Ah, very nice. And you should, I would advise Atul, you should think of some startups. I think you will be able to, oh yeah, you will boost well, you will do well. That you should think of something, and you have the entire knowledge. As far as my understanding goes, you have the entire knowledge of the uh, the technology, the hardware, software, everything you know how to do that. I think you should think of some ideas. I think you should come out. We will push you. Okay, don't worry. Okay,
Yeah,
we'll push
definitely,
you.
definitely.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Atul, for highlighting your journey as such. And Deepa, ma'am, how was your support, right? As in, what are your thoughts when you decided that at a very young age, right? At my time, when I was in engineering, that time I did coding, like the C, C++, Java. But at such a young age, doesn't
Yeah.
fifth. What were your thoughts as such that time?
So as a parent, I'm a teacher too. I
Oh,
work
okay, okay,
with high schoolers. I teach math for high
okay, okay.
schoolers. So I kind of started, me and my husband, we both started asking him, hey, what do you want to be? Just for fun. We kept asking him, like, what do you want to be? One time it was firefighter, one time it was something else. And then finally one day he said, I want to be a NASA scientist. I was like, whoa, okay, so that's something. So if you want to be a NASA scientist, you will be something at the end of end of your journey. So and then he was interested. He's a very um, mellow child. He's not, very outspoken or anything, very calm, very quiet. So, my husband was like, programming is needed. Doesn't matter which field you go to, you need to know some kind of knowledge about computers. So we introduced him to Scratch through Google. It was a free program they had. We thought, let's just introduce to him and let's see how he does. He did it on his own. There was no intervention from us. He would just sit there, watch the video, and I would just go, "Hey, what did you do today?" That's all I used to ask him. And he was on his own, completely on his own, enjoyed it. And at that time, we visited Bay Area, and Devika was talking about this, Jude sir's company. And I was like, hey, you know what? Maybe that is a good one because I don't know, being an Indian origin, I feel like sometimes you need that, kind of push, which we don't find here. It's more like, oh, what do you want to do? Let's see how you want to do. It was more like that. But he needed some kind of push, and I felt if it came from outside, it's better for his growth. So she introduced to us, and then we started, and he started with Python, actually, the basics of Python, and he did really well. There were hiccups here and there. He's a child, he likes to slack off and, all that, but it worked out so well. The hardest part was CS50.
Yeah, that was pretty.
Yeah, that was something we had to kind of, you need to finish this, man. This is too much. This is
That's a very,
getting
very,
too,
as a very important thing that he's done CS50X. CS50X is for Harvard second year students you get in as a part of their course. Okay, so in the
yeah,
curriculum it
yeah,
is there. Okay, CS50P is for Python. All this is easy for him, but CS50X is very hard. It's an engineering syllabus.
yeah.
Actually,
I think
somebody
it
is an
is
engineering
C++
syllabus.
plus plus
Yeah,
or
engineering
something, right?
syllabus.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that he did it, and yeah, that was very amazing, and that has lot of, I think, lot of pointers. All these works comes here, right, in CS50X.
yeah,
So it is. He did that amazing. It was, yeah. That's what till today I'm telling you that you should think of something, innovate. You are capable of doing it. Okay,
yeah.
now. Channelize your energy.
And
Uh,
Sarthak was his favorite, I guess.
Sarthak,
Sarthak was
yeah,
his
Sarthak
favorite
was there.
teacher.
Sarthak was CS50X.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, me too
who's
as
the
well.
one from
Right.
Bay Area? The first teacher.
Oh, Ekdam.
Ekta, ma'am.
Yeah,
Ekta was another one. Yeah, so yeah. They were
See, you got
very
all the
helpful.
uh, top companies, people who are working,
Yeah,
companies who are the
yeah.
teachers actually for him.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. Sarthak was really best because for me as well, because he used to give lot of feedback to
Okay.
parents. Like, this is what he's doing, this is what I'm planning to do, what are your thoughts? So he often called me to do the parent conference, and that's what I just loved about him. So I can give him feedback, what he can do and how he can do, and we can talk about it, the whole plan. And that's what I like about it. And even as a Techmentry, I felt that one-on-one really helped him. It helped him a lot in his growth, in asking questions. As a introvert child, he's not anymore, but as he was very introvert when he was in elementary and middle school. As a child, introvert, and being able to have that one-on-one connection helped him a lot. If he was in group, I think he would have been lost. That's
Yeah,
what I feel.
see, I agree with you. Okay, see, after I taught around 5 to 6 students, I realized that every student was thinking in a very different way. Okay, and everyone needs certain kind of nurturing. Therefore, till today, I told Anand also very clearly that we are not going to conduct a group class. Techmentary will be always one on one only. Okay, because I saw some children complete the course in 25 hours, some children takes 40 hours. Okay, so it was very unique in this particular thing, that where we noticed that every child can be groomed, needs to be groomed in a different direction. Okay, that's why
Yeah.
till today I never taken a group class. I will always take, I said, one on one only I'll take. Online is one on one only. If you go to offline, where I got my class at 100 students, 120 students, where I was able to walk through the classroom, I was able to see each student what they are doing, I was able to explain. But in online, it can never be possible. I did 2 batches I tried, but I did not get satisfied. I stopped this group classes. I thought only after that we took only one on one only online. Yeah, agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Jude sir, and thanks, Deepa ma'am and Atul for sharing your stories. So let's move to the next phase, right, of the discussion. Atul, so how have your journey been, right? What all things you have worked on? I mean, some parts I think, of course, your mother mentioned, some parts Jude mentioned, but everybody wants to hear from you, right? Right from fifth standard till now, you're in grade 11th, right? If I'm correct. So
yeah,
what all projects, what all things you have worked on in the field of technology? If you can just brief the audience about that.
yeah. So, like, obviously, first I started with Scratch, which is like the easiest language of all, and it was like building my logic from there. and then I moved on to Python, of course. I learned about like the basic fundamentals, and then I moved on to like the real challenge, which was that CS50X. That was like I think one of my first real challenges that I had, that I think my mom mentioned, like I was like kind of slacking off because it was a challenge. And at that time I didn't know, but I was like, oh, this is so hard. I don't know, maybe I should quit. But after I completed that, it was so fulfilling. It was like every other challenge that I faced, I was like, hey, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can actually work and start improving myself. And then from there, I was doing many different things. I started doing electronics, like Jude sir said. I did in my school, I did a bunch of like the college course classes. And then obviously now I got some internships at the local college where I'm doing like cybersecurity. I'm working on helping websites be more secure and all. And now I have my job where I'm giving back and I'm teaching. So it's kind of come in a way full cycle where I was like the student once and now I'm the teacher giving the knowledge back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how do you experience the teaching? As a teacher, what is your experience?
I think every student, I don't really see myself in because every student is so different from each other. They're all like they need different methods to teach. They learn in different ways and but they all have not they have so much potential in themselves. I think as a teacher, that's what you got to like really tap into, like their potential, because they can't see it for themselves. Because when I was a student, I didn't know I was going to be able to do all these internships. I didn't know I was able to learn this much. But as a teacher, I can see so much potential in them, and I think it's as my responsibility to be able to let them see what they can actually do. So it's very fulfilling in that way.
It's very. See, I think as a teacher, we should always believe. Okay, now we should always have in our mind. This is advice to you. Your mom is there, but anyway. So it's you should always when you teach, you should always feel that my student should become greater than me. Okay,
Yeah.
you should always believe that it should become greater than me. That will give complete your heart and soul will be given in teaching. Okay, now you should always believe this that I want my student to exceed, go beyond me. So that's a thing you should take it. Okay, that will take you. They will take them ahead. They will see your passion. They will see your dedication. They will start learning. They will get inspired by you. Okay, your mom also might agree with me. I don't know. Yeah.
I feel
Another
like I am in.
project
Yeah.
I wanted to mention another project he did. I don't know if he remembers. Using the Raspberry Pi, he was
Yeah.
showing me
Electronics.
the electronics deliver the traffic signal.
Uh,
Uh, remember the traffic
Yeah, that was
signal?
like the
The
first
first one,
project
yeah.
ever.
It was so cool to see that. That was the best one, yeah.
so are you in touch with? Are you using the Raspberry Pi and all today in your day to
Oh yeah,
day?
yeah. So in school, there's a program where we're learning about more electronics with the Arduinos, not the Raspberry Pis, but the like Arduino, like little microcontroller, little chips. And yeah, we've been doing a lot of cool projects. Like recently, I just did one where it's like if an intruder comes in the door, you spray them with a water bottle or something. And it's just that it's just, tapping into that creativity with the electronics and stuff. So I'm still yeah, doing all that.
So that particular program that he's talking about is not from the school. One of the professors from Cal Poly Pomona, which is one of the state colleges, it's in our backyard type of thing. So it's very close to us. And he comes to their school and his computer science teacher picked 10 students from grade 10, 11, and 12. And they get to be with that professor. And he teaches them, it's been since 2 years, he teaches them after school. So that's how he's been learning about these things. And then that's how he got the internship from another professor at Cal Poly Pomona to work on the cybersecurity and his website and all
That's pretty good. See, I think I don't know. I think I told Deepa ma'am also before. I we have some kids like Atul. Okay, they are one kid is the youngest cloud architect in the world. Okay, so he did. He's from Texas. So he did in eighth grade. He completed cloud architect because in general it's been done after engineering after so many this, and he's also like Atul only. So and he's very interested in robotics. All this he wants to do. And we have one more guy from Austin. He's also from Texas. That guy. So he's also a robotics guy. I think we should make them to meet all the three at least online, so I think you all can build something which we can mentor it and you can come up. So I think Anand, we should take a call on that. Okay, so we should
Sure,
connect
sure,
all
sure.
the dots so that at least a good circle is being formed. Okay,
Yes, yes, yes.
we
I'll
should do that
certainly do that.
exercise. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I am feeling like I am in a mythology Mahabharata, right? There is a Dronacharya, there is Arjun, and so many teachers. The Guru Shishya model I can see. I'm just observing. I'm just staying, taking a step back and observing. But this is really a good environment. And teaching is a divine profession. Nice to see so many teachers. And yeah, surely we'll prepare, make that group, right? When we'll get the best of the brains coming together and building something very wonderful. Yeah. Coming to Deepa ma'am, you right? How have your journey been? Right, we have been talking about Atul's journey, about Jude sir's mentoring him, right? But how have your journey been so far with him, right? I'm sure you're a strong pillar. Otherwise, managing academics as well as managing this technology is quite tough. I think, no, managing the schedule, everything. So if you can just share your journey as well.
So I think it's important as a parent to teach them the organizational skills. So I mean, I don't hover over him all the time. I'm not there all the time. I just let him be. But then we have, I don't know if you remember, we kind of I taught him how to put things in Google Calendar, how to kind of divide his day in different schedule. He used to do taekwondo, he used to do basketball. There were a lot of other activities as well. So one thing I taught him was if you see your schedule in front of you, you won't get overwhelmed. You will know how to divide your day. You will know how to accomplish things that you want to. Another thing we both, my husband and I, we both pushed him was you never give up. Like giving up is not a choice. It was not a choice for him at all. If it is hard and you want to do something, gi- uh, instead of giving up completely, you need to pick something else. So there shouldn't be anything like I'm giving this up and I'm done. No, there should be something like I'm giving this up for something else. So that was something we kind of taught him, and he's a good kid. He listened to us. He made sure that the grades are important. He made sure that stay on top of things, and yeah, this is what he did. And um, also, I feel like you know, micromanaging is not that good for kids. That's how I feel. I mean, my parenting may not be the same for everybody else. That's how I feel. We don't micromanage. We let him be, but at the end of the day, if the grade goes down or something, there are consequences. So he knows that. We had very hard consequences. Something like whatever he's passionate about was taken away from him. So he knew we were serious about it, having those consequences. So that's why he made sure he did what he was supposed to do. It was hard in the beginning. Yeah.
And
Great, great.
Atul, in CS50, apart from CS50X, what are the other certification you did in Harvard certification?
I think I did one from was it Duke? Like a Duke certificate, but I did it for free, so I didn't really get the certificate. But I went through all the courses from Duke. I think it was about game development in Python, and there was one also C++ that I did. And I also did like what do you call it? Like an electronics type of course through I think it was one of the UC, I think UC Berkeley. They had an electronics course. I just went through that as well. And then after that, I went through like a bunch of, I just started going through YouTube because I think YouTube for me was one of the best things I've experienced because everything on there is free. And there's so many good teachers on YouTube as well that it was like such a fulfilling, like self-guiding moment that was like, wow, I can just learn the knowledge myself. I don't have to wait for someone to teach it to me first. I can just, it's like already on there. So I think like after I discovered YouTube, I just did YouTube basically. Yeah.
He took one college class from community college, um, because I wanted him to experience what college is. Is this really what he wants to do? Like he spent so much time in programming and electronics. I wanted him to make sure that this is really what he wants to continue. There shouldn't be any doubt when he, you know, completely in it. So he took the college class and he was like, this is so easy. This is easier than what I did with Jude, sir. So it was not very kind of, hard for him. He was like, let me do something else. This is not for me, So yeah.
So now what we have done was we have associated all the courses we conduct will get a Harvard certification. Like we start from scratch. Scratch will have a CS50S, then we have a Python CS50P. Then if you want to do X, you can do X. Then we have a CS50 AI. So all courses have been we have associated with the certification at the end with Harvard. So what is the that made a lot of impact on many college kids who especially who went from India to US. They got a lot of good college admissions because the profile was created completely. So that's what I was asking, whether did you do any other certification. You should go, you can do by yourself, okay, you don't need any guidance. You go there, CS50, there's a series of certifications are there. CS50 AI, CS50 data science, CS50 or Python, all are there. You can see web, um, CS50W is for web, it is there. You can try, you can get, you will get it. You don't need anybody's support, you will do it. Okay. That will help you to get a good profile for you. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, moving to the next phase, right? Atul, I just want to understand that apart from being a tech gig, right? I think you are an expert in tech coding, right? Are there any other things also that you pursue, any other interests, other hobbies, that also our kids and the parents would like to understand that what is your personality? What all other things you do apart from technology?
Yeah. So before I even started technology, I had a big interest in like, first of all, basketball. I've done that since I was like, I think 5 years old. I was like a huge fan after I like watched NBA, all the playoffs. I was a huge LeBron fan. So I started doing basketball, playing on my own, and also I started playing for a team. But also like the bigger interest for me was painting. Painting like I love painting. I still love painting today, but I don't really have a lot of time for it all the time. But I used to paint, I think like every once a week I made a painting. And I think that's when I started becoming creative. Like before that, I was like, oh yeah, I can do this, I can do this. But when I started painting, I was like, oh, what can I do? How can I make this better? How can I improve what I did before? And since then, I think I've had that mindset is like, oh, I have to start improving more and more and more. And I think with painting, that really pushed my love for technology as well, and indirectly pushed my passion for it, I believe so. Yeah.
And Taekwondo.
Oh yeah, and Taekwondo. I
Yeah.
mean, Taekwondo was like the tough thing, like to be determined to like finish any task that I had at hand. So I think that also helped a little bit. Yeah.
Wow, wow. That's well, you are almost an all-rounder, right? You are there in sports, you're there in painting, you are there in taekwondo. I think the really the variety of skills you have developed over a period of time. That's really good to know, Atul.
I think
And yeah,
I think we need to run an AI model to understand how many kids who's good in painting become good in coding. Okay, so because it's association. Yeah. So is there any association we need to understand this? Yeah.
It's just creative brain, I think.
Yeah. So
I'll make a
that
model. I'll make a model.
good, good. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and ma'am, how about you? Like, no, do you come from a technology background, and how about Atul's father, right? Is the are the parents from technology background, or he's the first person to get into
Yeah,
technology side?
no, I have a master's in computer science. I worked in software company back in India. And then after I came here, in 2001, I was looking for a job and the job market was not good. Accidentally, I drove one of, not accidentally, I drove one of my friend to college to look for teaching credentials and things like that. And that's how I became a teacher. I used to teach computer science in high school as well. Um, but teaching became my passion and it just continued like that. But yes, my husband works for information system at LA County Health Services. So he is still in computer field. Um, one other thing was we both didn't want him to go into computers. We both wanted him to do something else. We are like, this is not what we want you to do. My husband always said, you need to be a lawyer. You need to do, businessman or something. Do something else. But he just kept on with coding and computers, and they're like, well, he's going with the herd. Let's see how we can differentiate him. Let's see how we can you know, change his stay in the computer science, make him a little bit more better in what he is doing. That's
I'm
what we
assuming
thought.
on the dinner table also and family vacations also, you guys would be discussing technology, right? How AI is growing.
No, no, we
Okay.
don't. We don't. We don't talk about work. We don't talk about school. Only question we ask is how was school? Good. Okay. What did you do something new? That's all. Nothing else.
See, there is a similarity between me and her, okay, in the profession, why we came to teaching, okay. So I also was in 2000. There is a dot-com burst was there. I don't know there you know this. So
Yeah.
in two, I was sitting at home. So that time Grishma came and asked, "Can you teach me coding?" So that's the way I came into this. And once she came, then it become two, then it become two, 300, 800,000, like that it became. Therefore, I never looked back of this. Now I'm going back to the technology side. I'm going.
Yeah.
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 Cool. So therefore, it's not
Yeah.
necessarily a teacher needs to be born teacher. A circumstances also can push a person to be a good teacher, I suppose. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I feel as a parent, we should always tap into their creative side. We should all, not just academics. Academics is there, it's gonna be there. But as a parent, we should make sure that what other interests they have, other than academics, which can help them in what they want to do. So, for example, I used to take him to music, piano, which he was not at all good in. Tried really hard. And then one fine day, he's like, I cannot do this. I said, okay, fine. What else you want to do? Because when you are bored, you need something. You need something to, as a stress buster, you need something. And he was good with his, um, art. And he's like, I want to do art. I'm like, fine, let's do that. And after that, he's just been very creative with art and things like that. And another one was sports. Basketball was his passion, and taekwondo was something I wanted him to learn. And he has two, three black belts now. Yeah. So yeah, he's pushing. I'm pushing him to do the last one before he off to college.
Wow, wow, wow. We just thought, I always thought that he's a tech geek, but I think nice to see the other side of Atul as well, right? Yeah. And I'm also a father of a 3-year-old toddler, right? I think a lot to learn from you, lot to learn from Atul's journey now. I'm just jotting down all these points now. The painting and about the music, about the piano, about taekwondo. Yeah, let's see what I'm able to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jude sir, you're saying something. Sorry. Yeah.
No, no, no. So it what I was saying, that's it is always, it's not only the academics, but also the physical exercise also build a person, right? You need to have a physical exercise, games that will help them to grow much better. Today I could see, especially in Bombay, we could see most of the parents don't allow the children to play. They make them to sit and study. So it's not a good idea. Yeah, they have to run in a day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So now understanding about the present, right? Now let's move towards the future, right? What are the future plans? Let's discuss that in the next phase of our discussion. So Atul, I'm sure like you've got exposure in most of the fields, right? I think thanks to the opportunities given by your parents, and of course you have grabbed it with both the hands in sports, in technology, in music, in painting, in academics, right? So, what are your dreams, right? I understand your mother mentioned that you wanted to be a NASA scientist, right? Way back in standard fourth, standard fifth. But what are your aspirations now? What do you want to get into?
Well, I mean, these days it's always changing. I mean, not always changing, but like there's such a broad area for technology nowadays where any changes that are made can affect like someone's decision to go into that field. But as of right now, I'm looking for more of like an engineering type of field because back then I was like, oh yeah, computer science. I'll just go for computer science. But nowadays, AI is such a big thing nowadays, and you see all the, like job markets are like going crazy because people are getting replaced and all that. And I'm like, hey, maybe I should find something more stable, like engineer, because I like for me at least, I don't think engineers will be replaced by AI so soon as computer scientists are nowadays. But I do also hope because I've learned like machine learning throughout my journey. I've learned about AI throughout my journey. I hope that I could also work with AI alongside while engineering as well. And I think no matter what field you go into, I think AI will always be there. So I think it's very important that everyone learns about AI, how it works before, yeah, like it takes advantage of you. And I think that's a big advantage you can have over AI and jobs that use AI in my case. Yeah.
See, I would I advise you that pick up one problem. Um, the problem, even it can be a very simple problem. Pick up a problem and try to solve it. Okay, that will help you to learn a lot of things around you. Okay, see the AI, all people will threaten you. Okay, everything will come. It's part of the technology evolution. Okay, so we should not get worried. We should focus on our own problem and get a solution to the problem. The world isn't have thousands of millions of problems. Okay, you should solve a problem to the world. No, that will give you confidence. Yeah.
And what are the colleges, right? Since you're saying that you're engineering, right? Do you have certain set of colleges in your mind? You want to get into Ivy League, or you want to come back to India? Like, what are your thoughts on colleges?
Yeah, so I mean, for colleges, mainly me, I'm looking just in California because I think here in California, there's such a big technology area, and in like especially in the Bay Area where there's so many technology start, there's so many technology opportunities to go into. Apple is there, big companies in San Jose, San Francisco. So maybe like some universities like Stanford, UC Berkeley, San Jose State, those are gonna be like
San Luis Obispo.
San Luis Obispo, yeah, those are going to be
Yeah.
pretty big game changers if I can get into them. So, yeah, those I'm looking more into that area, I'd say.
We also did a couple of college visits there, just to see what their programs are. Um, let's see. Next year, we will know by now.
Yeah.
Go to good college, but don't go to a good company.
Not big company. That's what he's
Yeah.
saying. Yeah.
Go to a big company because they make you, uh, they put you in a comfort zone. They will never allow you to think and try to build your own company.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
But I'm sure in the
Get in touch
Silicon
with those
Valley,
three. Get in
pardon?
touch with those three kids and build your own company.
Yeah,
Sorry, I missed out. I was not able to hear, ma'am. Can you please repeat? I was not
No,
able to.
I said get in touch with the other two kids Jude sir was talking
Yeah,
about,
will
and
do.
then build your own company.
This should be done by next week. I think we should organize these three people to meet. Okay, now
Sure, sure. I'll have a
all
platform
the three
wherein all
meet
the three
and let
people
them
meet
form, and we
and they
will.
can exchange their ideas. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll get a good mentors for them. Let them build something. We should
sure,
do
sure,
that exercise. You know. Yeah.
sure. We
Yes.
do that. But I'm sure, coming back to the previous point, right, Atul, doesn't Silicon Valley excites you, na? As you mentioned, that all FANG companies are there, Facebook, Amazon, Google, right? Does that excite you, or as Jude sir pointed out, start something of your own? That is what really excites you, or is it
I
too
think
early?
what really excites
Is it too early to discuss this? Yeah.
Yeah, I think what really excites me about that area is not just the companies, but the amount of connections I can make with people that are like-minded and also have the same type of passion as me. And I think with those connections, I have so many, like I could start a business, I can do I could like, connect with them, I could invent things with them. And I think that excites me more than actually just getting a job in one of those big companies. So I think it's more about connections rather than just being getting a job there.
So, for example, San Jose State University, San Luis Obispo, those have um contacts with companies, different entrepreneurs, CEOs. They visit colleges, they pick these kids and they groom them. So it's very rare for rare opportunity for I'm talking about everyone. I'm not saying, just Atul. Whoever is interested in technology should kind of look for colleges who have contacts. That's what I'm saying.
Sure, no, I'm very sure the contacts are really helpful, right? Contacts and networking. I think we can form group with the like-minded people, right? Or even people who have like a complementary skills. That would really help you build, as ma'am and Juicer mentioned, either a startups, either some projects, or maybe get into those companies, right? Yeah. With that, I'll just take a pause and just check, Karthik, if there are any questions around. I would like to take the questions. I see some students here. Parents, I think parents and students are there. So Divit, Rick, do you have any questions either for Atul or either for his mother or for Jude sir? We can unmute you and probably you can ask those questions, or you
Yes,
can type
sir.
out in the chat box also. You can
He's
take the
asking.
question.
So David is asking.
Okay.
Yes. Hi, sir. Thank you for this session. This was really a good session for us. Like my kid is 11 years old.
Oh,
So I feel that I still have time to think or guide, but at least like I am from a non-technical background totally. We are both doctors and our kid is more into coding and gaming. And we do not understand the field at all and we do not know what future holds, like, in the era of AI, will even coding be relevant or, how it will be. But it is really nice to see one student of the academy doing so well, getting internships at, grade 11, which, makes us also feel that we've taken the right decision. Whatever he's doing correct, you know. He can progress, in the correct path and there's somebody correct enough to guide him, basically.
ma'am, one advice to you: don't worry about AI. Okay, so don't think that AI will take my child's job, what to do and all. Don't think it is there. It will. It is part of the growth journey. So don't worry about it, and do
Mm.
as the Gita says, do your duty for duty's sake. Put your child to study for the studying sake. Okay, na? Future is
True.
in hand. It is there. It will come. So
Mm.
this is don't don't get worried about anything. It will be there.
True.
It is, the world is not going to end, ma'am. Don't worry.
True, true. No, for me, like my Divit, right? For Divit, like he's 11 years. For him, like he's somebody who doesn't like to be imposed with classes. But with coding and Roblox course and whatever he's doing with the all scratch coding and all, he doesn't feel like he's doing classes. He's basically enjoying it as of now. So that way we are happy. he himself is ready for his timings and everything. We don't have to push him so much.
Good. That's good. Good, ma'am. Good. That's good.
I think nice to know. I think, ma'am, na, that you're on the same path. I'm sure. I think when Divit is in 11th grade, he would also be doing some webinar and inspiring the next generation like Atul is doing today. So yeah,
Hope so, hope
thanks,
so.
ma'am. Yeah.
Thank
Any
you.
further questions you have, ma'am, for us? More than happy to answer those. Or
As of
anything you
now,
want
I
to share, more
don't
than happy
think
to hear you
I
out.
have
Like,
thought much about this because
oh,
he's young. But it will be very nice to, to connect with Atul and the family once Divit has gone up to this stage, like, after 8th standard, 9th grade.
sure, ma'am. We can arrange that as well. You let us know, and we can arrange that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Any other questions, Karthik, we have, or otherwise we can continue with our discussion. I think I
Sorry,
can
sorry, I
see.
got disconnected.
Yeah, sorry, you were saying something?
No, 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 I just got disconnected. But it was a very nice eye-opening session for us also. Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sure. I think the this session, which I think Atul and his mother Deepa were kind enough to be a part of and share their journey with all of us. I think definitely it has inspired David and many other other students as well. Yeah. Jude, sir, any specific thing you have in your mind to discuss? Any specific
I,
your
I
journey with
have only
Atul
one thing. I have only
or
one
about
thing.
Techmentry? Yeah. Go on.
One thing in my mind, and I wanted to thank Mrs. Deepa and Atul, okay, for giving me confidence to teach kids. That made this product, okay. So, uh, I my first journey also started with one kid that she gave me confidence to build entire classes, but now the other kid who gave me this online platform to go. Okay, so I'm grateful to Atul and Ms. Deepa and Devika. Okay, so Devika was my always my backbone in when she was a student. She was my backbone, and today also she is my backbone. Okay, so 25 years our relationship still we carry on. That's I'm grateful for Devika also, yeah, for bringing this. That's it I can say. Thank you.
And Deepa, ma'am, do you want to share anything of the future? What you would also have some plans in your mind for Atul, right? I think he mentioned that he wants to get into certain colleges and he wants to get into certain companies. So do you have certain plans that you feel for Atul? You think about for Atul?
As long as he does good. No, I don't have any plans. My thing is do well, find a job
Right.
or do something where you can be sustainable and yeah, just yeah. So whatever he does, we are supporting him. That's it. No
Sure.
plans as such from my side. Whatever he has plans, I mean, he already has things in his mind. Whatever he has, we will support him. That's all.
I think I really envy Atul, right? He's really got a clarity of thoughts, right? Which colleges to get into, which companies to get into, what contacts he needs to build, what areas he has to get into, right? Even now at the age of 42, 43, I don't have that clarity. Every day my thoughts keep on changing. So I think this next generation, I think thankfully groomed by parents like you who really give them the direction and guided by teachers like Jude Miranda, I think they are really blessed to have this supporting environment around them. And I really feel envious about this. In a pleasant fashion, pleasant manner, of course. So any last,
Cool.
I think anything else? I think we are almost done with the time. I think we have discussed most of the topics. Any last thing, if maybe Atul, you or Deepa ma'am, you, if you want to share, more than happy to hear out for the new parents, young parents, their kids. Yeah,
Um, I think for me at least, I think your journey needs to start with a passion. 'Cause I feel like without, like, I see this all the time with my students. Like, the students who have so much passion have, like, they have the most open mind. They have the most, like, they're able to progress a lot better than the students who, like, at first don't have passions or they're not interested at all. Because, like, I think it's a matter of seeing like coding as like a hobby or like just another task you have to do. Because I think with younger kids, especially like the ones I teach, the ones who are not interested think of it as like a regular, like it's a school class. I have to do this and then I can play video games. Oh, I have to do this and then I can do something else after. But the people who are like so interested, this is their like passion, this is like their hobby, this is their video games. Like they're like, oh, I have to do school and then I can go start coding. Oh, I have to do this and then I can, invent stuff with the things I know with coding. So I think that's what should differentiate what kind of journey you want to be on, whether that be coding or not. Like this applies to anything, like medical, if you're so passionate in other stuff as well. But I think every student should start with a passion. And I think teaching and like like progressing should just hone in that passion. So everything needs to start with that passion is just basically what I'm saying.
And thanks to
I
Jude
Jude sir.
sir and the team, everyone who helped him, tap into his interest and build it. We just basically, I thought Python, right? I didn't even know Python was so big, so many. I'm like, I kept on thinking, how much are you learning in Python? What is there to learn so much? And he was like, no, there is too much, mom. Yeah, so and then it started with electronics and other things. I was like, wow, this is really impressive. I when I got in, it was just I thought, 6 months, an year or something, he's gonna be done. He's not going to continue. I there were no expectations. Just put it that way. There were no expectations, but your team, Jude sir, you and your team has done so well for him and very thankful.
Yeah, thank you so much to Jude sir and
thank
everyone.
you,
Very
thank you.
thankful.
And the last word I'm taking from him, even your job you should do as a hobby. Then you'll enjoy
Yeah, yeah,
your
yeah,
job.
yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
enjoy my job a lot. Yeah, yeah.
Pardon?
Yeah,
I
I enjoy my job a lot. I think
yeah.
it's very wholesome that like I can teach full cycle. Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything
he's
you should do
giving
as a
up his
hobby.
India trip for the job.
Pardon?
He's giving up his
Sorry, we are
India
not able
trip
to hear
for the
you.
job.
What do you see?
India
India.
trip.
He's
We,
doing
uh,
India trip
we,
for a
we,
job.
we
Oh,
usually go
wow,
to
wow.
India in summer. This year he's like, no, I have to work. Okay.
Oh, okay. He's missing his India trip for the job. Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cool. Okay, don't worry. There's a time you'll keep on flying. Okay. Yeah.
I know, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for Atul for sharing your journey. Okay, and it was a inspiring journey. I would be
Yeah, I think there's some disturbance.
Thank
Are
you.
you able to hear
You
Jude,
know,
sir? I think there's some disturbance at my end.
Yeah.
I think Jude, sir, there's some disturbance at your end. But yes, the point that he's trying to make is, I think we are very thankful, Atul and Deepa ma'am, for you for taking out time on a Saturday morning early. This is a very early morning for you. Thanks for taking out time. And I'm sure your journey I think your journey with us as well as the technology world, otherwise as well, has been very inspiring. It has inspired our participants today, and I'm sure it would be inspiring thousands of kids to take up this technology as a full-time career. Right? Any last parting thoughts we have? Otherwise, I think we are done with the session.
I think we are good. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, audience, for being a part of this webinar. Thank you, Divit's parents, for being a part of this webinar. Thank you, Rick. Yeah, have a nice day. Thank you. Thanks,
Thank you
Karthik.
so much.
Karthik is a part of our marketing team. Thanks, Karthik, for arranging this entire session. Thanks for your hard work
Yep.
for making this happen. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Bye.
Thank you so much,
Bye
everyone.
bye.